Okay. I'm not sure if I'm streaming on the right stream or
DougBot
not.
said, "Hey, is this thing on?"
Let's see. I've got an audio confirmation. Yes, so that's on the channel. All right, I got to show you this right quick. Quick. Look at the bottom right corner. What time does that say? Right down there, 8:52 a.m. It is not 9 a.m. yet in my office, or my studio, whatever the heck you want to call it. I did not realize a problem until I saw a chat message that said something like, I wonder if Doug got caught up with a client, something like that. And I looked down at the time and no, it's not start time yet. I'm not late. Why are they saying that? So I looked over at Baby Beast, and Baby Beast has the correct time. Big Beast has the wrong time everywhere. So then I had to go change my count up timer. Ay caramba. How many times can I say that I enjoy complicated configurations before I have to eat my words? Turn that back because I had it adjusted differently for Carrie's show yesterday. That's where I like it. And see, that vertical line looks almost vertical. There. Okay, let me get right to a emailed question from Martin Hogg. Now let's go a little bit there. Email question from Martin Hogg that came in about half an hour before the scheduled show time. And sorry about cutting off your people. Oh, great. My picture-in-picture is not working. I bet that has to do with the camera adjustments that I made yesterday. No, it shouldn't. Okay. We'll go with this anyway. Hi, Doug. Looking for some expert guidance before visiting customer tomorrow. He has a Lenovo IdeaPad 3, which crashes randomly, sometimes after about 20 to 30 minutes, but also sometimes after only a few seconds. I'm deducing that means of 20, 30 minutes or a few seconds after restarting it. He has Windows 11 24H2, but this fault was even on 23H2. The battery is good and fully charged, and he mainly just uses it for browsing on MS Edge. I've advised him to try another browser for testing, and his comments indicate fan running okay, so it doesn't sound like overheating. Not true. Just because a fan's running, that doesn't mean it's not overheating. I don't think that's really the source of the trouble, though. What test do you suggest? And PC is 5 years old. I do have some suggestions for that, but I'm going to give the chat room a chance to chime in with their suggestions while I move on to something else. And then I'll come see what's in chat and then give my thoughts on the subject. Then I am holding off on a comment that or a chat comment that I copied from Ran Israel. So if you're wondering, I do have that held for later, as you suggested that it could be done later. I am not hearing Stormy. Give me an exclamation Y or exclamation no if you did not, whether did you hear the lightning for Stormy that just appeared?
Yes, affirmative.
And Greg says yes, so it was only me.
That's a big 10-4.
They heard it.
Yes, affirmative.
I did not.
Why, certainly.
Okay, understood.
That's a big 10-4.
And it keeps coming. Now
That's a big 10-4.
I'll go into comments. If you can stop, you can stop now. And then, this is going to bug me if I don't have my picture-in-picture. Where would that be? Oh, I know why, I think. Let's see, bumpers, finishing. Which one of these? Because I did make adjustments. Oh, I've got to be on monitor 1 in order to see that. And then press this button. Oh, picture in picture is not working. We might have a blank screen here. Let me get to the right place here. IP, that works. This is the one that should be appearing. Go back and try this again. Nothing. There it is. All right, I feel better. Such a Doug. Let's go. All right, so replying here. Where's my clipboard history? You know what? I'm just going to have to restart Big Beast Build every time I do a whatchamacallit, hibernate. And I've got a client that has texted me 3 times. No, Jim, I'm not confused. I know this isn't going right. I have no question about that whatsoever. The clipboard history worked before I started the show. Here, if I go try to copy something, then can I bring up clipboard history? I cannot. Are you kidding me? Okay, skipping that. Jeb Bates said, thanks for clarifying my comment. Yesterday, the comment related to the properties in Device Manager, where when I clicked on the Advanced tab, it just closed out the details of the Details tab, whatever that was. So anyway, thank you for that response. Always enjoy getting a response back to my responses. Greg M., have you ever seen a rescue media created under Macrim Reflect 8.18325, which is the current version, that is the version that I have, where that if it is booted on another computer, that the rescue media seems to take forever, several minutes, with the useless progress bar saying starting WPE init, WPE init. I can press escape to get past this delay. The flash drive was created under Windows 10 and booted up via UEFI as well as non-UEFI in a Windows 11 system via BIOS boot selection option. So he was actually, in order to boot from the USB, he was selecting that from within BIOS setup. This seems to be an issue with this particular version of Macrim Reflect. An older version has no problem booting in the same machine. I have come across some confirmation that this is a reported symptom by other people as well. And the computer's just completely messing up right now. I just tried to click over to Copilot and I lost my taskbar. Taskbar is gone. There, it's back. Can I get Copilot now? I want to take that off screen as I go into Copilot so I can get to the right thing. But as I drill down further, you can see that I did have some back and forth with Copilot for a while. And he says, you're not alone. This issue has been reported by other users as well. Well, I couldn't find any places where it was actually reported by other users. And I confronted Copilot about that. And Copilot down here says, I couldn't find a direct user report mentioning such and such. And then I said, you said you're not alone. This issue has been reported by other users as well. Where did you get that from? You're absolutely right to call that out. I misspoke. I shouldn't have said that without direct evidence of user reports. So there you go. I've been showing times when Copilot scores on the pro side and also when it fails. So I haven't been able to find any confirmation of that. Now, the question was put to me, have I experienced that? After thinking about it for a while, I'm thinking that maybe I have, because that does sound somewhat familiar. But when I boot a computer on Mac and Reflect USB thumb drive, I usually turn my attention to something else and come back to it later. So I think that I may have experienced that a fair amount. And I would have to investigate further to see if I could come up with any solution for it. But I don't know that it is a issue that people are struggling to resolve. Let's see, did I do any YouTube search or Google search about it? Let's see, how would I want to word that? Let's see, I'm not going to do copy and paste. Macrim Reflect, Rescue Media takes forever to load. So other people have searched for that. Several factors, including changes in it. Now, when you press the escape key to get past that, that implies there may be some kind of driver that is trying to load, and it's unable to load. That was perhaps needed by the computer that you created the rescue media from. That's kind of a stab in the dark. Several factors, including changes on the data drive, a failing drive, or issues with the USB media itself. If the USB drive is having issues, try using a different driver, ensuring this is not sounding likely at all. Because the way that I'm understanding this is it consistently is slow on one computer and consistently normal speed on another computer. Restore very slow. This is a restore operation, not boot. Restoring a full image, taking longer, which actually could be a related issue. Rescue media runs slow. Yeah, so booting slowly could be the same root cause as running slow. I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom of this conversation to see if people are reporting that it solved the problem. Seems to be faster now, restored about 3 minutes. Thanks for the update. All done seems to be faster now. If you go to that screen, how do I rebuild the WIM? Are they saying that that is the issue, is to rebuild the WIM? Might be worth rebooting the WIM. Are you using the latest build 7784? Yeah, so that was a while ago that this conversation is, I think, well, January 3rd. That's not long ago. So there's a possibility, but that's just the start of this conversation, Greg. And I'll have to do the timestamps later, but he might, yeah, he is in chat, and he has tried it on another USB drive and encountered the same problem, I'm assuming you're saying. Let's get Greg. I tried another USB drive myself. Let's see what else he says during this show. Yeah, that's the only other thing he said. So he tried another USB. And do you have the same symptom with that other USB? Did you create it on the same computer that the troublesome USB was created on? Have you tried creating it from a different computer? Have you tried creating it with different settings related to your BIOS mode? How far have you gone with the troubleshooting? Have you been able to identify whether an actual backup or an actual restore takes longer than on a computer where it boots up properly? That's a little bit difficult to tell because you'd be probably restoring a backup that's a significantly different size. Okay, I'm going to move on to another one. And I will be responding to Greg's comment with a timestamp, even though he doesn't need it, because other people watching or looking at the comments on that video could click on it to see what my response was. Aaron Werner says, "Hey, Doug, how is everything?" Well, Aaron Werner, everything is fine. Not really a question there. I'll give you a thumbs up and a heart. And this was from Tuesday's show. And then Chevy, who was with us on Carrie's show yesterday. Maybe Aaron was too. I don't recollect his name from there. Chevy was asking the question about, he was saying that in Microsoft Word, he was getting not responding messages. And I suggested that my video about how to fix File Explorer green loading bar might be the issue, because Microsoft Word will query the hard drive, the file system from time to time, even while you're working on the document. Excuse me. And he said it was a long document, so it will swap things from the document to and from disk. So if the drive or File Explorer in particular is having troubles, then any of the several fixes that I gave in that video might be the solution to that. I'll give him a timestamp too. You know what? I should not do those until I do the timestamps. Otherwise, I might lose them from this list. So that's all of those. Now let's go see in relation to, yeah, this is the one from Ran Israel that I captured. We'll deal with another day because there's no urgency. This one for Martin Hogg, and see what people have said about that. See if anybody has said the solutions that I have in mind for it. If anybody put in specific solutions, please give me a read chat, please, with a timestamp. Even if it wasn't your solution, give me a read chat, please, and timestamp and or name for the person who suggested something. Hello, Tim Cruz. Thank you for the like. And likes and comments are the things that I really care about. I don't care about subscribers so much. Unless you're going to watch more than half of my videos, then okay, subscribe. Or if you really, really, really need or want to get the notifications, don't unsubscribe because of the comment I just made. But just if you're not subscribed, I'm fine with you staying that way. New Drugs, John Williams, that was the trailer. Please. There's a link in the description to get you to that. Go to this read chat message. See, HH:10. So I'm going to go to the minutes of 10, figure out what HH means. Is that somebody's initials? HH:10. Let's see, there's one. So looking, okay, memtest power brick. Okay, not what I was going after, but yeah, memory test would be a good thing to do. And consider changing the power brick out. Possibility. Okay, heard it. Heard the thunder. Steve McCure. I'd probably start with a malware scan. I don't think so. Because mild possibility, marginal possibility, in my opinion. Based upon my experience, I've so rarely found malware to actually be the cause of any trouble. Take a look at the event viewer. Good, that's good. And see if you get any clues. If it will stay on long enough, that's good. Does it crash even if he never opens the browser? If he turns it on, never opens the browser, and just leaves it running, will it run for 24 hours without crashing? Yes, Princess is bigger. There's an explanation behind that, but I'm not going to go into that now. Ski Man, I'm slow on this dinky cell phone keyboard. Getting ads for an ad blocker. Martin Hogg says, thanks to Steve McCure. Forgot to say he has Windows Defender. Ran a scan yesterday, all clear. Is the web browser the only thing that causes the issue? The person doesn't use anything other than web browser. So what are they going to do? Open some other program and just stare at it for a while? See you later, Selden. Copilot getting into politics. Not quite sure what that is in reference to. I could take some guesses, but I'm going to skip past that. The Windows pre-installation environment is only the default. I did not try the other pre-installation environment. Am I saying that right? Pre-installation, E for environment. In the creation process, I never restored anything on the problem issue. Never performed a restore, so he doesn't know if that was running slow. And that was Greg's. Okay, we've got Greg's issue about Macrium and Martin's issue regarding the Lenovo laptop. Martin to Steve, not sure, but he only does light browsing on Edge. I'm considering doing a system scan with SFC, System File Checker, checking the disk with Crystal Disk Mark, Disk Info, Reliable Monitor. I like my solutions better than anything I've seen so far. I am a fan of System File Checker. Now you need to check and make sure that you're using the DISM, D-I-S-M, to make sure that your what do they call it? The local store of your Windows system files is up to date. You might have to update it before you can get a reliable SFC, because this computer is 5 years old. Unlike some others, I have had it correct some strange issues. It might be worth checking Windows Update to see if there's some firmware updates for the device. Yeah, now you're touching on it. Now you're touching on it. But I don't want to do that through Windows Update because it's a 5-year-old computer. Okay, so let's get into my choices. What I would like to see done with this, and we're dealing with Martin Hogg, is, let's see, what do I have it? Here's Lenovo support website. I'm going to Control-C, copy that. Put in the serial number of that laptop, start with a BIOS update, and then check for any other device driver updates for that particular laptop. I would not count on Windows Update for these drivers for a 5-year-old laptop. And in Windows Update, if you're not asking for, let's see, it is Windows 11. Am I remembering this right or not? You can ask for updates for other Microsoft products. Do you have to tell it? Yeah, this is receive updates for other Microsoft products. No, I don't think there's anything to do to ask. You have to go into optional updates to
Why,
find the
certainly.
driver updates. That's where it is. It might be on optional updates. So that's a possibility. But I still would prefer to go straight to Lenovo's site because you're having a specific problem with this computer. That's, I think, where I would turn first. Do the BIOS update first, and then look for updates on any other devices. Because this symptom that you're describing sounds to me like a driver problem. Now, somebody said event viewer. So even before event viewer, you could do Windows key and then reliability monitor, reliability history. Now, this doesn't always give you a reliable direction, but it can give you hints, and it's pretty quick to look at. It's easier to look at this than to look at event viewer because it'll take you straight to these X's. And yes, Big Beast has troubles, okay? Get over it. I have a lot of stuff on this computer. I don't even try to chase them down anymore. And it looks like I even have a Windows Explorer
Read
issue
chat, please.
going on. But anyway, you can click on these X's and well, down here, click on these X's, double click, and get more detailed information about that. If you want to send pictures, screenshots of what you find there, I'd be happy to make comments on that. All right, going to this read chat, please. Let's do a Control-C so I can get back to that, except that my clipboard history is not working. Read chat. It is Windows 11 24H2. Yes, it is. I understand that for Martin's computer. Are you referring to Martin's computer? Martin's client's computer? Because it is on Windows 11 24H2. Did I say something that was
Why, certainly.
opposite of that? Yeah, that's John Williams saying yes, he is referring to Martin's. Now, let's see, it's a IdeaPad 3. I don't recognize offhand that that is Windows 11 compliant, but 5 years old, it should be. Search about operating system. Yeah, okay, yes, they have Windows 11 shown in here. So 64-bit operating system, but I don't have the serial number. You ought to do that with the specific serial number. There's a BIOS update in here for May of 24. So that's very recent. Is there anything else I want to poke around at? I'll go back to all updates. Why is this drivers? Why is it only showing me BIOS? I'll go back button. Back button again. Oh, cookies. Options, analytics to improve our website. Essential. They don't have any advertising there. So now let's see if I can get back. There. Audio, Bluetooth, camera reader, display, fingerprint, networking, security, software utility, storage. So they don't have anything here that looks to me like chipset. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I did. Somehow that one just escaped me. There's some 2022 dates, 2021 dates. Yeah. So I think that's where I would go first, because you can't go wrong with doing device driver updates, even if it doesn't solve the problem. However, you're not going to have a good way of testing whether your updates solve the problem or not. Chris Garrett says, good to see you yesterday on Carrie's stream. That was so enjoyable. I just got such a kick out of that. Hopefully we will do those occasionally or on a regular basis or something, or nothing actually on the calendar yet. And Steve McCurr says, thank you. I had not heard of reliability monitor. Yes, it's really good because it will just highlight all of the problems that you could possibly find in Event Viewer. It's like reliability monitors pulling information from Event Viewer. Anyone else get the error code such and such in the Windows recovery environment after the latest Windows update? I have heard of that. In fact, is that what Ran Israel's chat comment was about? Maybe ignore. Yeah, Microsoft tells Windows users to ignore WinRE recovery environment, install errors. So let's go look at that now. Oops, we're into overtime. And this is 643 900. How many zeros? 3 zeros. Let's try 9001. Nope, that's not in there. And then let's try WinRE. Yeah, there's a fair amount of that. Microsoft says some users might see 643 installation failures when trying to deploy the April Windows Recovery Environment updates. And basically what they tell here, I've already read through this, is just restart again, do the updates again, and it will eventually work. It's one of those situations where in order for this update to work, you have to have another update in place first. Impacts, let's see, 22H2, 21H2, Windows 10. Oh, these are Windows 10 versions though. Wasn't he talking about, well, William didn't say whether he's Windows 11 or Windows 10. Oh, then he says, oops, wrong error code.
Read chat,
Perhaps
please.
regarding the link. William Lynn says, error occurs on ARM, Windows 11 24H2. Oh, all right. Okay. Let's go try this. Windows WinRE. Try that. See, I don't have to give Copilot a really clear wording. Not always anyway. Seems to be affecting ARM-based Windows 24H2 devices when attempting to access Windows Recovery. Some users have reported encountering this issue after installing the January 25 update and this KB number. Possible workarounds: roll back the update, reinstall Windows 11, check for updates. Microsoft has acknowledged similar issues and released fixes through Windows Update this number. It may be worth checking for updates. If you're experiencing this issue, you might want to try one of these solutions. Now, this KB number, if it is a fix for that particular symptom, it might not come to you automatically through Windows Update. So I just did a copy of that. Here I am going to try to copy and paste again. Update, catalog, and put in that KB number. And then it is 117. So clicking here, that'll get me into the catalog.update.microsoft.com. And not x64, but ARM. So if we click on this, does it give us some detailed information about in here what it does? This makes improvements to the Windows recovery environment. Package details. This update replaces the following updates. So if you've had one of these other updates come to your computer, then this one is a successor update to that. Let me give you this in chat. So I haven't gone as far as I could go in investigating that, but I'm out of time. Have I finished all that I want to say, need to say of what we've talked about so far? Martin Hogg, the Lenovo updates, in my opinion. And let's see, somebody had asked a question about, I don't even remember where it was, doing the @ symbol on Android. So I haven't watched that video, any of these videos yet, but I think they might give you some information about that. So just search YouTube for, that might have been on another video comment that I haven't responded to yet. So I don't know if the person asking that was actually here. I think I need to get out of here. I will probably check up on the rest of chat messages later, but I've got a couple other obligations that I need to turn my attention to. There's the email address if you want to send a question. Nope, the email address isn't going to come up either. Then name does not work. Chris says @ symbol then name does not work on Android YouTube chat. I've heard that to some bit, but I can't test that myself. Now I know it won't do the type ahead. If you do the @ symbol, then start typing the characters, I know it won't pop up with a list of names to choose from, because iPhone won't even do that. But I have confirmed that iPhone, you can type it all out. And I've heard, I think, from a few people that @ symbol, and even if you type it all, the entire channel name correctly, it won't come up. I haven't been able to test it. All right. See you later. Have a great day, everybody. Goodbye.